Hello, beautiful! I have a really important meeting later today. Please send me some positive vibes. This meeting could be a game changer. Then again, every meeting can be a game changer. I go into them all with my awesomeness, but also realistic expectations. I hope they're all going to be game changers. I expect none of them to be. So now that I've said that, and I thank you for your positive vibes and for watching, I want to remind you briefly, PerezTour.com for tickets to our live podcast recording next month in Los Angeles. And I'm so excited. There is new drama to get to. Two ladies that I love are in the headlines today for some scamming, some cheating, major scandal. Felicity Huffman, formerly of Desperate Housewives, and Lori Loughlin, whom we all know and love from Full House and Fuller House, have been accused of paying people to get their privileged children into college. And I have a lot of thoughts on that. Before I even get to them, here's something that I really think. College in the United States of America is a scam. If my kids said, hey, I don't want to go to college, I don't think I would be that upset if I knew they had a career plan and a path to get to where they want to be and succeed in life. It is ridiculous that where I went to school, New York University, and other good schools, people have to be in debt for over a decade to pay off their student loans. It shouldn't be that way. The government should give you X amount, and student loans should be interest free from the government as well. It's all just crooked how it works in this country. I wish things were different. I wish you didn't have to go so deep in the hole that it takes you forever to pay off your student loans. It sucks. It's a scam. I mean, yeah, no, I genuinely don't think I would be upset. Like if my kids said, you know what, Dad, I want to be a real estate developer. I want to work in real estate. If my son or daughters started working, interning when they were 16, 15, started to network and developing a clientele and were already making some deals at 18, I'd be like, all right, you're bringing in money, fine by me. And not because I'm cheap, which I am, I just also don't know if it's necessary. There are a lot of careers where you really don't need a degree. I mean, yes, if you're going to be a lawyer or a doctor, you need one. But for a lot of other ones, you don't. If you're a creative person and you want to work in advertising, do you need a degree in advertising? No. You just need to be smart and think of bright ideas. That's my opinion. You may disagree with me. As always, I invite your feedback. Let me know in the comment section down below. And I will, as always, post the links down below so you can read, see, or hear more of what I talk about. In relation to these two actresses, they are amongst over 40 people that were indicted in these charges. And let's be real. Are Felicity Huffman or Lori Loughlin going to serve jail time over this? No. If anything, they'll have to pay a fine. But it's wild. The FBI got involved in this. They were tracking this story and investigating for over a year. They had phone conversations with the celebrities. They were caught. There is no buying your way out of this one. And this is actually a very Donald Trump thing. I guarantee you that Trump's father did the same for him, or that Donald Trump did that for his children. It's not shocking to me that celebrities or wealthy, non-famous people do this. I think it is a disservice to your kid. And I also think it's not necessary if you were doing your job as a parent and on top of them when they were in school, in middle school, elementary school, high school. That's why I program my kid's brain and I take them to school every day and I tell them the number one most important thing in life is family, and number two is to work very hard. And I have told my kids, and I tell my kids, and I will continue to tell my kids that I will be loving and supporting them in anything they do, ... so long as they're not lazy. They have to put in the work. It's all about that. And getting my kid into a school where their grades, if my kids didn't have the grades to get into a school, why would I put them in an environment that they're going to fail at? I'm like, okay, you're not meant to be at that school. Is school necessary for you? Or what would make you happy? Or why are your grades not that great? What can we do to improve your grades before going to school? Maybe we can do some tutoring. I don't know what it is, but like I said, I will love and support. So many parents project themselves onto their children and what they want for their children, but I truly believe that the kids are going to want what they want, and it's your job to support that in whatever way you feel comfortable. For me, I will say, okay, you want to be an actor, or you want to be a director, or you want to be I really don't want my daughters to be models just because there's so much drugs in that industry. But if my daughters want to be models, I'd be like, okay, I'm going to watch you like a hawk. I'm going to have spies. I'm that kind of dad. But I'm not going to, I wouldn't discourage my daughters from being models, but I would say, listen, this is the reality. It's so hard on bodies and brains and noses. So yeah, these moms, which is interesting that only the moms have been charged. Why haven't the dads been charged? Why was William H. Macy also not charged here? It's not shocking. It's not anything. It is sad that the scam was to get a lot of these kids into the athletics program, and then they would either fake an injury or just not show up to practice. They paid somebody to enroll them as an athlete, taking away a spot from somebody deserving. Am I angry at Felicity Huffman or Lori Loughlin? No, I'm not angry. They did something dumb, but something that they thought was going to help their kids. So I have a lot of understanding there. It's not something I would do, or most of you, but it is something that actually a lot of people would do and have done. Anyways, that was great. And also, in more scandalous news, I tweeted this and I got such a response, and I also shared it on Facebook, that I said, well, I should talk about it. There is this young drag queen, 11 years old. Follow him on Instagram at Desmond is Amazing. I've been a fan of his for a while. And some trolls out there have reported his family to Child Protective Services because he's out there doing drag. And some people are so bothered that this 11-year-old is performing in clubs. I'm not bothered. What's the difference between a club where you're supervised or a theater? You know, kids are allowed to work in Broadway theaters at night. This kid obviously, clearly is the one driving this from his interests. It's what he wants to do that makes him happy. And the parents are giving him a platform to be the most fierce, the most fabulous, a followed drag queen. He's clearly grown up watching Drag Race and said, I want to do that, and I want to have an Instagram account and express myself on Instagram as well as performing. I think a lot of the reactions from people has to do with homophobia. It's my opinion, and you may disagree with me. In other, wait, did I not? Oh, what did I not? Wait, where is that? Oh, I knew I had a brain fart. In other news, Joycelyn Savage's family, the girl who is living with R. Kelly, says that this new crisis manager that R. Kelly is working with has reached out saying that there is a possibility of a face-to-face meeting with their daughter. The crisis manager thinks that's a good idea. ... Until the young girl decides, you know what? I'm going to break free from R. Kelly and start spilling the tea. Then it's not a good idea. This is potentially very dangerous for R. Kelly, and I'm looking forward to it. Speaking of R. Kelly, one of his former lawyers is also speaking out. In a new interview with a local Chicago newspaper, this guy says R. Kelly is guilty. And you may be thinking, well, what about client-attorney privilege, confidentiality? Well, the lawyer is dying of cancer. When you're dying of cancer, attorney-client privilege goes out the window. Speaking of dying of cancer, I saw this report about an older gentleman, 78 years old, who was in the hospital dying. And the doctor told him he was dying through a robot computer screen. Is this really what we've come to? Have the nurse, have a social worker from the hospital, another doctor, if he's your client, patient. Don't tell somebody they're going to die through a screen. And the family, the guy died the next day, and it's just so infuriating. In other news, let's lighten it up. Let's lighten it up, you guys. I don't even watch The Bachelor, but I've been paying attention to this season because it seems dramatic. Did you all watch last night? This guy, Colton, is heading into the finale with possibly no girl. And I love it, even though I don't really care. I like the drama. I don't really like the people or the show. All right. In other news, I have to talk about some other craziness. Conor McGregor, the UFC fighter, was arrested on felony robbery charges. He got into a major brawl with somebody down in Miami Beach who snapped a photo of him at 5 a.m. outside of a hotel, a really fancy hotel, the Fontainebleau Hilton. You know what I think. Nothing good happens past 2 a.m. Not only did he take the person's phone away, he then threw it to the ground and stomped on it. And there is surveillance footage of it all. He was arrested and released from jail, and he now says that he is working on himself. I mean, that kind of rage serves him in the UFC ring, but not in real life. In other news, wacky news, Aaron Carter has gotten embroiled in all of this Michael Jackson drama. He says he wants to punch Jackson accuser Wade Robson for alluding to the fact that he, Aaron Carter, was also abused by Michael Jackson. And the fascinating thing is, while attempting to defend Michael Jackson, I think Aaron Carter just incriminated him even more. Speaking in a new interview, Aaron Carter revealed that he, when he was just around 14 or 15, used to sleep in the same bed as Michael Jackson. That's not normal. That's not right. That's not normal. That's not right. You have to be a moron to think that Michael Jackson would sleep in the same bed with all of these boys and not do anything. Maybe he didn't do something with some of them, most of them, but clearly four Michael Jackson accusers, no, five now. Five is the last number I heard. These two, Gavin, Jordy, and then the guy from Germany. 5 men have accused Michael Jackson of inappropriateness. I'm going to believe those 5 men. And also logic. Let's move on. On to lighter news. Congratulations to her. Kim Kardashian has pledged to pay 5 years rent for a former prisoner who's been denied housing. She's really all about this prison reform. Good on you, Kim K. And finally, Justin Bieber has opened up about struggles that he is suffering from, most likely depression, though he didn't use the D word. And I just want to send him positive vibes. Depression does not discriminate whether you're rich or poor. Having said that, it's way better to be rich and depressed than poor and depressed, because if you're rich and depressed and you really want to get better, you have access to therapy and way more with all of your millions of dollars. And you also have the ability to not work. If you're poor and depressed, you may not have access to the best therapist, the best treatment, the best this, that, the other, and you probably still have to work. But sending Bieber positive thoughts and sending you positive thoughts. I love you. I thank you. Mwah! Hit the like button. Leave a comment. Follow. Subscribe. Share. If you enjoy the tea, hit the like button. Leave a comment. Follow. Subscribe. Share.